name is Rachel Scott. I'm a practicing Roman Catholic.
Well, that's a pretty tough question for me because I've, for a long time, I've never really categorized myself into any religious position. I tend to just believe in what I can really believe in, and there's always been something about each religion that I've come across that I don't necessarily see as reality, or I can't exactly subscribe to it and wholeheartedly tell someone that that's what I believe. So I just take bits and pieces from whatever I come across and formulate my own opinions and go from there, really.
Always considered myself to be Christian, but I don't think I was really Catholic until high school, which is when my mom had signed me and my brother up for First Communion. So once I received my first sacrament in the Catholic Church, from that point, I considered myself a practicing Catholic.
That must have been sometime during high school when I gave up on going to church and decided that Christianity didn't really seem to be what I believed, 100% at least, and I just started looking into other kinds of religions, particularly Buddhism, I think, and just saw that there were things in that I agreed with that I hadn't come across before, and I realized that it's probably the same for all other religions, that there's going to be something you don't agree with, but there's something that you do, and it's up to you. I figured it was up to me to just come up with my own set of beliefs.
I've certainly had periods of doubt and questioning, but I continued to go to Mass and pray. I've never really been drawn to any other religions or looked elsewhere.
Yeah, growing up, I was taken to church regularly. Eventually, it became dragged to church. But I guess I used to identify as a Christian. I went to Catholic school for a little bit, and that kind of just set the tone for my early years.
My mom obviously has been a big influence on my spirituality and my faith, just from taking me to Mass growing up and making sure I received the sacraments. That lays the foundation for my faith. Also, college was a really big, a really important time of my life where I grew a lot in my faith. I went to USC in Los Angeles, and while I was there, I was really involved with the Catholic Center. And so the people I met there had a big impact. The priest, the campus minister, my friends, all really taught me a lot and helped me to grow in my faith.
Yeah, I guess you could say that early on my parents and the teachers at the Catholic school were influential, but as I drifted away from that, the people that really influenced me, my thinking, started with Jack Kerouac's book, The Dharma Bums, and then I started reading a little bit about Gurdjieff and Swedenborg, and those are the people right now that keep me thinking about spirituality and all that.
So from that, California was really, I connect California with my faith just in terms of it was the place where it really became an important part of my life. So Los Angeles was definitely a place that had a big impact on my spiritual journey, and it's certainly something I think about anyway with Los Angeles and California in general, is the large Hispanic population and the influence of the Spanish colonists from the missions that they built throughout the state, the churches, the people. So I think California and Catholicism have had a long relationship and will continue to do so.
Well, I think we can agree that California is a relatively diverse state and fairly tolerant for the most part. And I think that kind of sums up my religious attitude and beliefs because I I like to take little bits and pieces of whatever I come across and cling on to those, and then I don't really discriminate towards any particular religion. I like to hear what everyone has to say.
I do like to I have a crucifix in my bathroom next to my sink, and I like to keep like a rosary in my purse. I have a rosary ring in a wallet. Um, Religious artwork with angels or the crucifixion scene. Um, yeah, it's really nice to have those kinds of images around you. Right now is Advent, and I have an Advent wreath showing the nativity scene out in my living room.
I'd say I don't really have any symbology that I keep around in my life. If you looked at my room, you would see that it's pretty bare and not too many decorations around. And the few decorations I do keep, I don't think that they have any religious connotation behind them. I just like the way they look, you know.
Prayer is me communicating directly with God. um, it's not like I've heard voices back, if that's the intent of the question. I do think I've had moments where I felt closer to God and kind of felt like a nudge, but there was never like skies open up and a light shines down kind of moment. It's very like small. You gotta be open to it, I guess.
Now that's a real interesting question, but unfortunately I'd have to say no because I don't think I've ever been able to, communicate, have any type of back and forth with a higher being, and but I do believe that after times of intense reflection and introspection, I guess, that I've come across some kind of sensation that there's something out there really trying to reveal itself to me, and that I felt at times that I was right on the verge of making wild discoveries that I never thought I would.
I guess my view on life is just that it's preparing for eternity, so I'm just trying to get my soul ready to be in the presence of God, and once I get there, then I'll find out everything there is to know. And it won't even matter. Yeah, I don't really have any like burning questions for God.
Well, there's probably a million questions I'd like to ask, but if it came down to it, the first inclination I'd have would be to ask him, am I on the right track or not? Am I just fooling myself by trying to keep my ears open to all the different beliefs out there right now? Or is that a waste of time, kind of, and I should just stick to one thing in particular and see it through to the end?
To me, freedom of religion is just so important, regardless of faith, of what faith you subscribe to. I think everyone should be able to practice their faith, to live it out publicly without being afraid, without feeling the need to hide it or feeling shamed. I feel like it does happen a lot where people kind of are minimized or put down for their religious beliefs or even discriminated against.
Well, I kind of think that my views towards other religions is one of mostly tolerance and genuine curiosity. However, I have come across a few ideas that I just can't understand and seem real stupid or futile, but I don't really like to let that affect me or the people who hold those beliefs. So I just let it be what it is, I, and maintain that everyone has the right to believe what they believe, and I shouldn't have to interfere with that, and I don't have any right to.